number of earthquakes that hit here. The color blue signifies a quake that hit within the last 24 hours. Yellow shows a quake that hit within the last week. A few hours ago, we went to the USGS headquarters in Golden, and in a conversation with seismologist Paul Earle, we discovered that they can see tremors in the smallest corners of the planet.
We monitor the entire world with seismographs that are placed around the entire world. These seismographs, by the time that the seismic energy arrives at these seismic stations and the amplitude of that energy, we can tell both where the earthquake was and how big the earthquake was.
And this map is actually an indication of how that information comes together. This is actually the Colorado earthquake, and these red lines are the seismic monitors that registered the quake, and then all that information arrived at the USG office here in Golden and was recorded. The seismologists here are indeed watching all over the world in places like Kazakhstan, Botswana, and locations as remote as Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia.
There are areas of the world that are very active. For example, Taiwan, Japan are very active. But around the Pacific Rim, including Alaska, the classic Ring of Fire is a very active area.
And this is another map that gives them size and scale. It's actually collected from the internet. It's called Do You Feel It? And this is taken from emails from people who actually live in these areas, Colorado, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Nebraska, all of whom wrote to the USGS to say, we felt an earthquake here, and the result is this map. All the information that's gathered electronically is then made into one of these maps, and as you can see, they're very detailed, showing all the seismic activity, and these maps then travel to what is called the war room, this part of the building where the scientists spend a great deal of time poring over them, trying to extrapolate the exact strength and size of the earthquakes. The USGS also has some fascinating results photographs of the earthquakes that they track. This, for example, is a mountain cabin that was shaken off its foundation. Across the room, that's a fissure across a glacier. Down the room, an overpass that shook apart in a trembler. And lastly, a grassy field with traces of a fault line. Colorado has seen its fair share of earthquakes. The last earthquake of note was in August of